So it's really great that it's going to be nice for everybody, and we don't want to be the party poopers, but we do want people to think very carefully before they call for an ambulance. Ambulances are for emergencies. We're under pressure, as everybody knows, for COVID. So what we'd like people to do is to think really carefully. So if, for example, someone is unconscious or they've got uncontrolled bleeding, the usual emergency things, then of course call for an ambulance. But when you're outside and you're in the sun and you're having a good time, just remember, the sun at this time of the year is as strong as it's ever going to be, and you must be very careful to avoid sunburn, and also it's quite easy to get dehydrated as well. So you've got to watch what you're doing. Just be careful. Remember to drink some water alongside the alcohol if you can, but it's just about being sensible, not getting overheated and not causing problems where you don't need to have one, so you can still enjoy the sunshine the next day. Well, we'll tend to see, as the temperature rises for extended periods, people who have breathing difficulties underlying, so people with chronic chest conditions tend to suffer more in the heat. So there are some steps they can take to avoid getting more unwell, and that is keeping cool, keeping out of the sun, and when your house is hot, making sure it's ventilated properly, and you're just doing the normal things to keep yourself well and hydrated, making sure you got your medication if you're asthmatic, and all of those simple things just to prevent something happening later on. But we have to remind ourselves, but social distancing is still in place, and now that includes us in the workplace, but also when you're out there socializing as well. So we want to make sure that COVID doesn't become a greater problem, so it's really important people adhere to social distancing even when they're out and about and enjoying themselves. I think what we also need to consider is that ambulance staff at this time, particularly within the COVID response we're having to make, is they'll be wearing PPE. So they'll be wearing Tyvek suits for resuscitations, and they'll be wearing face masks. They'll be a lot hotter than they would otherwise be. It's going to be hard work, so we really need to minimise the impact upon those staff. We're going to be working tremendously hard over this period of hot weather. So whatever the public can do to avoid calling for an ambulance where they don't actually need to have one, if they could do that, we'd be most grateful. Thank you very much.